Here are the 7 stories you need to know for Friday, February 23rd, 2024. Number 1. Again, all eyes are on Russia as it brutally cracks down on mourners who pay their respects to Alexei Navalny, who died last week as he languished in a remote Siberian prison cell. In response, President Biden met Thursday with Navalny's widow and daughter in San Francisco and announced Friday that the United States will pound Russia with over 500 new sanctions. The sanctions aim to restrict the billions of dollars in energy revenue that has financed President Vladimir Putin's war against Ukraine. Number 2, this leads us to what we can expect from these sanctions. That is nothing. The United States and NATO alliance have already imposed stiff sanctions on Russia since the Ukraine invasion in 2022. However, according to the Voice of America, Russia's economy grew by 3.6% in 2023, despite the war and sanctions. Number 3, how is this possible? J. Howard Schatz, a senior economist at the Rand Corporation, told the VOA that Russia's war spending amounts to a massive stimulus package of over $350 billion that supports full employment. Furthermore, Western restrictions against the importation of fossil fuels from Russia only meant that the Kremlin pivoted to supplying energy products predominantly to China, Turkey, and India. The EU still buys some liquid natural gas, but not on the scale that it was buying before the war. These graphs from the Center of Research on Energy and Clean Air show the breakdown of Russian revenues by country. Number 4. As Russia roils the West and the Kremlin's cutouts and sycophants continue to wreak havoc domestically, Alexander Smirnov, the FBI informant whose false bribery information about Biden, which led to an impeachment inquiry, was initially charged last week and released on bond. Now, after claiming ties to Russian intelligence, he has been rearrested as he is deemed a flight risk. Number 5. South Carolina's Republican primary election is Saturday. The big story here is that although Donald Trump is expected to win the South Carolina Republican primary by a wide margin over its former governor and U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley, Haley and her mega-donor supporters are making a bet that either Trump will get sidelined, either by a web of court battles, or he's caught up in a range of other issues. Whatever the outcome, Haley appears to be setting herself up as the presumptive Republican nominee for 2028. Number 6. President Biden is facing a major electoral challenge in the Michigan Democratic primary next week as Arab American groups urge Democrats not to vote for him because of his policies supporting Israel's invasion of Gaza. Arab American discontent could spell doom for Biden winning Michigan in November, which could tip the balance in his opponent's favor. Number 7. The functions of Congress are to write laws and pass bills, neither of which they appear capable of doing at the moment. 2 shutdowns loom over the next couple of weeks unless Congress gets its act together and passes a continuing budget resolution soon. The first one would happen next Friday, March 1st, and would halt operations of several parts of federal government, including military construction and the Departments of Veteran Affairs, Agriculture, Housing and Urban Development, Transportation, and Energy. The second one, on Friday, March 8th, compromises the remaining 80% of the government's functions. A major roadblock stems from the hard-right Republican minority, the Freedom Caucus, who would like to see the government shut down. House Speaker Mike Johnson is beholden to his job for this tiny faction and may or may not work with Democrats to craft a budget deal. Another hurdle is the congressional schedule. Congress is on break for the remainder of the month. The Senate arrives back next Tuesday, but that gives them only 72 hours to craft a 1,000-plus page bill. That's all for today. And if you like this series, then look over here for other episodes, and I will see you Monday.